Good evening and welcome to the Speedway Tavern. And tonight I want to ask this question: what's the single most important thing that we can and should change in British Speedway? Ooh. Only in Speedway. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, first of all, we should apologise for not being on last week, as we fully intended, and then somebody decided to get pregnant and want to have a baby, but we won't go.
It wasn't any of us, was it?
Wasn't any of us.
No.
No. How is the baby, Matt? No, it wasn't any of us. Yeah, so I guess we should start with Get Well Soon, Freddie Lingram.
Yes, bad crash in Poland on Sunday whilst racing for Motor Lublin in the third heat. Freddie Lingram crashed into the fence, flew over the handlebars and was left lying on the track. 40-year-old was taken by ambulance and, according to the club statements, suffered foot and shoulder injuries. On Monday morning, Lindgren has announced on social media that he will miss Saturday's GP in Prague. So get well soon, Freddie. And really, we seem to be getting a few quite nasty crashes, haven't we?
We seem to be, yeah, there's a few injuries floating about the place, mostly around Northampton, it would seem.
Mm-hmm.
They've had.
We should say as well, Beckett well soon to Patrick Budniak. Mm-hmm. That was one of the worst crashes. Well, I was quite shocked actually when I saw the footage of that crash.
Yeah.
Really, really, really frightening to see a rider go that high.
That high, yeah.
The track there, and but we're still waiting for news on as to the situation with Patrick. But obviously, we wish him all the best, and keep our fingers crossed that he's going to be okay.
Talking about injuries and injury replacements, it's really difficult to replace an injured rider these days. Gone are the days when I'm going to talk about Birmingham again. Gone are the days like back in Birmingham when I think it was our first or second season, and we had an injury to somebody, and we're like, oh, come on then, Graham Drury, just pick a rider out from somewhere, and he flipping well did.
He did, yeah.
Yeah. But those days are gone now. I guess Jepson Jensen replacing Matty Zagar. Jonas Jepson. I'll get right. That's the one. I knew there was two J's in there somewhere. What do we think about that? I mean, I think they had to make the replacement.
Well, they had to do it, didn't they? Because obviously the situation with Zagar. I mean, it's almost similar to the situation with Birmingham. Of course, obviously Zagar was different at that time because Zagar had the issues with his visa. Mm-hmm. But as you say, in the olden days, you always had a clutch of riders that didn't get a place at the start of the season, but you always knew that they were going to be sitting by the phone, waiting for the call, because there was inevitably going to be a point where somebody would get injured or a team would make a change. But unfortunately now, all these riders have got their whole calendars all set out around Poland, Sweden and Denmark, and it gets very, very difficult then to find areas where you can slot these riders in.
Okay, so we're getting a few things coming up on the shout box. Now I've got to hold my hand up and say I've been out of it for a week with all sorts of things going on at home. So I'm catching up very much on, and I'm about to catch up on Kings Lynn versus Lex, NDL postponed because of an unavailable fence.
Yeah, because it's at Northampton. They're having to share Northampton's fence, aren't they, at the moment?
Oh.
Which isn't really...
Webby just come in and did a little dance for us. Thank you for that.
A trip over there, isn't it? Yeah. No, they are using Northampton's. The Northampton club are using Kings Lynn's fence at the moment, which is not really an ideal situation.
No, I didn't realise that.
I know. Obviously, they were desperate to get Northampton in
up
the league,
and running,
but it's a basic commodity, and it's necessary to have a safety fence.
So they've got to take that fence, put that fence up at the beginning of a meeting.
Yep.
Take it down at the end of a meeting
and send it back.
And send it back to Kings Lynn.
Yeah. It's okay when the two sides are riding against each other, because but
yeah.
But I read that. I didn't realise that until I read it during the weekend. It was quite.
Well, obviously not advertising that, I guess, is the.
Well, they're not going to advertise it, are they? So, but
it's not an air fence, is it? It's like a foam fence. I've seen what I've seen on.
What happened to the fence that was at Perry Bar? Is that at Buxton now?
That's at Buxton.
Yeah, I thought it might be.
Yeah. Any pictures? You look at any of the pictures around Buxton, you can go, oh, that's a bit of our fence. The fence is there as well, and even I think the Wolverhampton tractor might be there as well.
Yep.
So yeah. Anyway, that's by the by. Oh, I'm back again. My computer decided to turn itself off and back on again. Fred Graham says, evening, gents. Back to the long gap in Glasgow. Tiger fixture, same issue as last year. 5 weeks till our next home match. Thank goodness we have GP qualifier on the 30th of May, which is something that we'll probably have a touch on. I see the lineup for that's been announced just recently.
5 weeks till the next home meeting, and there's a bank holiday in that period of time as well. That's not good.
There's a couple of bank holidays in there, actually.
Well, there's a bank holiday coming up on Monday, and there's 2 meetings.
And you got
the whole programme.
2 meetings.
I mean, years gone by, bank holiday, you'd have about 12, 13 meetings going on during the day, wouldn't you? So,
Okay.
I don't understand that. I mean,
I know we haven't got many clubs now, but even so.
Have they got an explanation for that? I don't
Probably
really.
rider availability, I guess.
Yeah.
Phil Taylor says, rider of the week, Scott Nicholls scoring well for Plymouth away at Glasgow and Workington, and rolled back the years at Plymouth Saturday on his 48th birthday.
Yeah, he rode very well. I was at Plymouth on Saturday. Nice to catch up with the fellas down there, and it was. I think most people on the forum would have had that as a fairly comfortable win for Plymouth against Scunthorpe, but Scunthorpe did pretty. I mean, well, Scunthorpe did pretty well. They did obviously well through their number one. I can't remember his name now, but mine's gone blank. Somebody will remind me.
It won't be me.
It definitely won't be me.
Well, you never know. You might be lucky. So, why don't I just do what I should another time? Get the programme for Saturday.
Okay, while you're doing that, Brian Reeson said Kings Lynn have called
Josh
off.
Pickering, yes, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, Josh. My mind went completely blank then, sir.
Mine too, but then it's normally in that state anyway.
Yeah.
Brian Reeson says Kings Lynn call off the meeting against Ipswich 36 hours before the scheduled start time on Monday evening due to bad weather forecast. In the end, no rain all day. How annoying. I mean, I've heard of matches being cancelled 24 hours before. I think Birmingham did it a couple of times last year before, and it turned out to be the right decision. 36 hours, that's a bit...
Pushing it.
Yeah.
So we had a final score at Plymouth on Saturday of 49-41 in favour of the Gladiators. As I say, Josh Pickering picking up 16 of those points. I was talking to Phil Taylor before the meeting. I mean, I was quite surprised actually because Plymouth wouldn't really have struck me as being Josh Pickering's sort of track, but he said Pickering usually does really, really well there, and certainly he was exceptional for the earlier parts of the meeting. But
Ryder, I've got a lot of time.
Yeah, he scored 16 points, but really, I mean, Scunthorpe's next highest scorer was Dan Jilks with 8, who rode well, but it was a little bit of a one-man show. Unfortunately, they were missing Luke Harrison as well. They had Ryder replacement for him. But looking at the scorers there, Danny King 6, Joe Thompson 10, Alfie Botel 6, Ben Barker 11, Scott Nicholls, who started slowly in his first race, was 5-1 in heat number 4, but only dropped a point after that, and 2 great wins over Josh Pickering. He scored 12. Anza Grmack scored 3. Looked a little bit ill at ease on the track, but I think as the meeting got on, you could see that he's sort of, getting more confident. And Tom Spencer 1. And for Scunthorpe, Josh Pickering 16, Nathan Ablett 4, Connor Mountain 6, Michael Palmtoff 7. He started off with a heat win and didn't really do much else after that. Ryan Ingram failed to score, and Jan Jilks 8.
I mean, you've been to Plymouth before, and I know you like the track, but I mean, give me a sort of report on how was it as a neutral.
Very, very welcoming as a club. I obviously, as people will be aware now, Plymouth have got their own app, which you can use for buying tickets on. It's very, very easy. to do that. It was a little bit fiddly getting the barcodes up when I arrived at the car park. Spent about 5 minutes trying to get that while the car park attendant was peering through my window. But no, they've built.
I feel that's more of a problem with your phone than.
Yeah, they try to do too many things at once, I think. So, but no, they very, very welcoming. They did. There's a new sort of. When I went last year, there was on Ben 2, which they're known as the Bar Bandits. They've built from scratch a sort of a small terracing area, which looks really fine. And talking to the guy that designed it. And we've heard the phrase of done on the back of a fag back, and it literally was done on the back of a fag back.
Okay.
It was done. I think they were coming back from Berwick last season, and they sort of sketched it out there, and they've built it. They've built it themselves. They've done a really good job of it, to be honest. It's been gradually built up. There's obviously a seating area now on the home straight. It's a nice little setup, and it's in a great position. And I think really for me that's the template for any potential new track, as you've said many times.
Yeah.
A track in the field.
Yeah, let's not even go there again. Everybody knows how I feel about that. As from a point of view of, if you was a new fan, how friendly is it? How well was the meeting run? How would you have enjoyed that? Do you think?
I think so. Well, I mean, the weather wasn't great. It was it was sort of periodically raining during the meeting. We had quite a long spell of rain. It was it's that sort of really.
You can't do anything about that.
Well, yeah, unfortunately it's that really sort of fine, steady drizzle. But that seems to be the rain that soaks you, doesn't it? My shoes can testify. I had to put toilet paper in the shoes to keep the dry them out before the after the evening. Pictures, but I mean, the one thing talking to Phil, and Phil's on here, he'll probably vouch for this. The one thing that they've gone really big on this season is social media, and he says that's made a huge difference. The catchment area of it. As I say, you've got the app there. They've got this film that's coming out later in the year. Apparently, that's going to be going on Netflix as well. So,
okay,
really,
that's really good.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. I've seen a few little clips from it. I'm really looking forward. In Glasgow, did something a couple of years ago similar, didn't they? So it's nice to. Plymouth
here's the question.
Yeah.
Here's the question: if Plymouth can do that, if Glasgow can do that, why can't British Speedway do that, i.e. the BSPL? Is that not something that they should be looking at? I mean, really and truly. I
just wonder if there's an element of, well, what's in it for me from some of the promoters?
Well, what's in it for them is more people to get end up through the doors and saving British Speedway. I mean, I started the thing off today with that question, what's the single most important thing we could or should change in British Speedway? And I think that's it.
Yeah.
That mindset of, getting out there and publishing not just your little bit of the sport, but the sport as a whole.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen. And I think Phil Morris has probably, I've hardly heard anything from Phil Morris this year at all.
Yeah.
But I think he certainly started off with that in mind, with all the whole thing about when they started the season, having that press day at Bellevue and the whole thing, and that just seems to have withered away.
Yeah, they haven't done it this year, have they? So, yeah, as Phil said, social media is the way forward to promote the sport and your club. It is,
It should be the way to. The important part of that sentence is your sport. Of course, we've all got our club affiliances.
Yeah.
Of course, we want our club to roller coaster every other team that comes there.
Yeah.
Within reason. But you have to understand that without the other clubs, you ain't got a club, you ain't got a sport.
Exactly.
Your biggest asset, like we always mentioned between Birmingham and Aston Villa,
Yep.
my biggest asset is your rivals.
Yep.
Because without them,
Yeah.
there is nothing.
It's pointless, really. Yeah.
And that just seems to get forgotten.
Yeah.
And so I think that is the biggest thing, personally for me, that
Yeah.
I would want to change. And they started, we've gone on, right from the outset of this show, how many years ago? 13 years, was it? Something like that?
Longer
That
than
we've been going.
Longer than that.
Longer than that.
17. Was it 2009?
16.
16 years.
Yeah.
We've been going on almost from day one about, you need
Yeah.
somebody that's over the top of the thing. Now, I know we've got Phil Morris and they're sort of over the top, but is he really?
He's been given some power, but
been- yeah.
not enough
Yeah.
for me.
I don't think it's just power. I think it's money, isn't it?
Yeah, you need somebody with power because they own the thing.
Yeah, that's true.
You've got the whole American football scenario and the way that works. I think that's the sort of way that you've got to go. And who owns snooker? You've got the darts and who owns darts. Anyway, the way forward is to get younger people to promote the sport to younger people. Absolutely. But that as a sentence is great. That's not the how though. That's how to do it.
Yeah, and how to do it. He's not having people standing there whistling with their hands in the pockets while there's loads of delays taking place. So.
No sign of Phil Morris in the Premiership, and no word on if he is still CEO. We might have a gander at the BSPL website in a minute and see if he's still listed as CEO. That might be interesting.
Yeah.
As far as I know, he is. Yeah. So
Jimmy, we'll just say Jimmy. It says Harry Redknapp should own it.
yeah, I think Chris has just put a comment on there. You know, there was all that big players of rubber listing when Redknapp got involved.
Yep.
Nothing since.
Absolutely
Nothing.
And there was a big opportunity that he himself could have used to get Speedway on national television because he was recently in the jungle. I'm a Celebrity South Africa.
Yeah.
And not once was it mentioned. Now, of course, he could have mentioned it and it wasn't put broadcast. Who knows? But it didn't feel like there was any sort of discussion about that.
Yeah, well, I've just had an interesting look on the list of BSBL contacts. Well, nobody's listed on there. You've got the email address, which is general inquiries, media inquiries, which is press office, webmaster, which is the website management, and the only name that's listed on there is Neil Vatcher, who's the under-21 coach. So there's not really it's sort of a general thing, isn't it? Who do you contact? Well, just contact the general inquiries. Well, most people want a name, aren't they? So who do I speak to?
This is the problem Ben Barker's been having, of course.
Yeah, and I think this is partially the reason why Ben Barker is no longer the captain at Plymouth as well. Because obviously, I think Plymouth were on BSN a few weeks ago, and obviously he was obviously talking about that when he was interviewed. And I think I think Scott Nichols has taken over as captain. It might be, I don't know whether it's Scott or whether it's Danny King. One of the two of them has now taken over as the captain as well. So it's sort of to try and stop him asking too many questions, but I think they're questions that need to be asked. Absolutely,
particularly from riders, and that's really important. But we spoke about that last week. Chris Thorogood says, "Evening, chaps. This is an interesting post, by the way. I spent Saturday at Donington Park for the British Superbikes Championship. This championship is thriving, yet Speedway isn't, but both are bike sports. Loads of kids there on Saturday with lots of interaction for them with riders, race bikes to sit on, free flags, etc. The promotion is clever and well presented. Speedway is way behind this and could learn a lot from the BSPA, British Superbike Championship."
Yep.
I'd have no argument with any of that. I mean, there is big differences. But one of the big differences that always used to be mentioned to me about Speedway and superbikes is that superbikes is much more akin to the motorbikes that people ride, and therefore of more interest to them, and that proper bikers.
You don't see bikers at speedo meetings, do you?
But I'm a biker, or I used to be.
And you're thinking that? Why is that?
But you don't see motorsport people. It's not just motorbike people. You don't see motorsport people at them. And I don't understand why, because I think it's a much purer form of racing than, say, F1. I think you see more, mind you, this year in F1 it's been like Mario Kart a little bit, but by the by, but I don't think that argument sticks up. I don't think it's necessarily that. I think it's just promoted better. I just think it is.
No, it is.
They've also got advantages where they're not out there every week.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know how many rounds there are in the British Superbikes Championship, but they're not out there every week, which I guess is an advantage. It's more expensive than Speedway, and that's one of the things that they keep saying about Speedways. It's too expensive. I'm going to watch a Formula One race for the first time this year. I'm going off to Silverstone. I tell you what, that's eye-wateringly expensive. That's almost you need a mortgage expensive. That is.
And on that fact, I put a poll up earlier, but before I put the poll up, would you say Speedway was still good overall, good value for money? Overall,
Compared to, because that's the thing. I mean, compared to most motorsports, I would say it's cheaper to go to a match than it is to go. Unless you're looking at club
I
championships.
think it depends on where you go.
okay.
I think it was good. I found it personally a good value on Saturday at Plymouth because it was an enjoyable experience. But I'm going to Bellevue next Monday for their meeting against Sheffield. And I think that, obviously that's going to be a big meeting. There's a great rivalry between the two clubs, so you'd like to think that'll be good value. I've got a couple of other places I'm hoping to be going to before the end of the season, so it'll be good to get a bit of a. It's obviously frustrating because I want my own club to be riding, but of course that's not on the cards at the moment. So, but it's an opportunity for me and for you yourself, and obviously when you start going to some meetings to sort of make it holistic, have a look, a bit of a more of a holistic
view of the thing. Yeah,
Speedway. So, which I've sort of tried to do that over the last couple of years since Wolves have gone, in meetings. Obviously, most of the meetings I've seen them were at Birmingham, which weren't great value for money. But
no,
we won't go into that.
I mean, there is that side. It's if you're at a track where you're losing every week, you probably don't think it's great value for money. If you're at a track that's winning every week, you probably think this is great. But
there's an element as well, I think, that we've possibly made winning a bit too important. I mean, yes, you want to see your team win, but you want to be entertained as well, surely.
Speedway has to consider itself entertainment before it considers itself. That's just the niche that it's in at the moment, and it's got to be entertaining because it's the most important thing is bums on seats.
Yeah,
it's become desperate. Clive Woodier says there used to be lots of bikers at Coventry Bees in the 70s. I think there were a lot more bikers, but then again, there were a lot more people. But the thing about bikers now is there ain't many of them.
No.
You go out on the road, you don't see bikes very often. And I, until recently, I myself was a biker. And the shops that you can go and buy your bikes from, the places that service them, it's very few and far between because there's not many bikes on the road.
Yep.
And you couldn't get your stabilisers on, could you?
No, but this is true. That's probably why I kept coming off the damn thing. Are you coming to Foxhall this year? Do you know what? I might do that. I might make that trip because I've never been to Ipswich.
I've never been there. It's a long old drive. But,
Horrible drive.
We'll have to get our heads together and maybe go together.
Yep.
Share the cost or whatever.
Well, I've got family down in Ipswich as well, so that's obviously.
So yeah, that's me. That's me dipped out. Then okay, I understand. I get the picture. Hi chaps, are these elite riders that stupid that they believe Polish clubs will still be paying huge sums of money if British Speedway stops? The Poles will drop their wages in half. How many British riders are riding in the Polish leagues anyway? I don't. It's just the top ones, really, isn't it? You so and half of them are probably Australian.
Yeah, that's it. So.
Yeah, I don't, but I don't think the elite rider, well, they've got a say in it in one way or the other. I don't think that's that stupid. They're not the ones running the clubs and running the clubs into the ground and finding us. They're just desperate to try and get rides where they can.
Yeah, that's it. So
that's where they are, I think.
Yeah, interesting one here from Browne Reese. And I'd just like to say how well Danny King has started the season for the Witches after his second operation on his wrist.
He has, yeah.
In the winter. Has given him more freedom. I would say he's the best number 2 in the Premiership. There's the phone again.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'm trying to think of another number 2 that would.
He has had a good start though.
He has had I mean, Ipswich have done.
Well, I think the
much better start than most people.
I think the good thing for Danny, in fairness, is that obviously the last couple of years he's maybe been in a position where he's been able to hide a little bit behind Doyle and Seifertenoff, but of course now with the way that their team has been built, there's a lot more responsibility on him. He rode well at Plymouth on Saturday, and in that league, he's a very, very good rider anyway. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, he's one of the riders that got a lot of time to. I'm really sorry. Let me just do something about that, shall I?
Before Webby does something about it.
The thing is, my headphones are super sensitive as well. You know what I mean? I can hear that dog.
You jumped. I saw you jump. So.
Okay, so
Chris Thorogood says everywhere's a long way from Ipswich. I would consider Birmingham a fairly short journey.
Pete Clark says Buxton is a lot closer.
Yeah, a lot colder as well. Though,
yeah, a lot colder.
So. That's on your list of tracks to do, isn't it, Buxton?
Buxton is. I definitely go. I want to go. Yeah, that's the fence that I helped mend.
Yeah.
That's where Ty Woffington went over.
Yeah.
But no,
they might get you out of retirement, or
with the way my legs are going at the moment, probably not.
Yeah.
He's knackered.
Yeah, I am. It's just no good. Yeah, I mean, I've just got a lot of people there, a lot of friends there that I know from Birmingham days, so it would be nice to say hi to them. Danny King in the World Cup. Is he riding well enough for that?
Well, he's riding well enough. Mm-hmm. Whether they will make the call, the only problem I would say with Danny King is that he hasn't really got a huge amount of experience on the tracks overseas. I mean, obviously that can fulfil that role, that has got a lot of experience on those tracks there. Yeah, I mean the obvious one, of course, is Ty Woffington, but it's whether he's going to be fit, whether he's going to be riding well enough
and whether he wants to do that.
Yeah,
I think there's a case to be made for having Ty Woffington in the pits though.
Yeah, well, he's been in the pit. He's been, the last couple of years. Well, obviously, we've had 2 wins in these Speedway Nations, and he hasn't ridden either of them. But he's influenced.
Yeah.
He's influenced.
So somebody like that would be invaluable for somebody like Danny King, if indeed it's him that's picked, or whoever is that hasn't got the experience of riding on those sorts of tracks.
Yeah.
Chris Butler says, Mike, bring your red flag. I don't know what you're talking about, Chris. What red flag?
I've got it here somewhere for me. It's down here.
Mate, you're not going to get me on the track, I don't think.
Well, not riding anyway.
Not right. Well, no. Nobody wants to see that.
And Speedway bikes with stablers would look stupid.
Yes.
But there's a thought.
Well. I was reading in the Speedway. I meant to bring this up a few weeks ago, and because I'm old and stupid, I didn't.
Yeah.
At Birmingham last year, in the last few seasons, we've had those little electric bikes.
Yep.
My understanding is that that's not allowed to happen anymore. Mm-hmm. What do we think about that?
There was something in the Birmingham programme last season, wasn't there, from Lawrence Rogers explaining the reasons why. Again, it's a little bit short-sighted thinking, I think. I don't know whether it's done for insurance policies or whether it's done for cost.
It's health and safety, isn't it? It's that side of it.
At one stage, it was going to be the next big thing, wasn't it?
Well, but they were totally around the track at about 4 miles an hour. I could run as fast as them. In fact, somebody was pushing one bike, and it was in the lead at one point. But and they've got all the gear on, the helmets.
I know from talking to people at Birmingham that there were a few families who had invested quite a bit of money in getting people for these bikes to race, and then were told they weren't going to be able to do it, so they were a little bit miffed. And I could understand why, to be honest.
This is Speedway shooting itself in the foot. Instead of saying, right, okay, these are the problems, we'll put them right so that you can do that, they've just gone, they can't do it.
Yeah.
They can shift a bit now, though, these bikes.
Well, no, we're not talking about full electric motorbikes. We're talking about little kiddies bikes, and I don't think they did more than 4 or 5 miles an hour, something like that. It weren't massive. I think it's a massive opportunity to get kids involved in Speedway, and they were loving it. And you would see them in the pits trying to pretend to
absolutely. Yeah,
it was just.
Yeah. Pete says they can get you a chair, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm just ignoring him now. I need to get down. I know where it's quite a funny place to find.
Yeah.
You
You got to make sure you take a big thick coat as well, even in the summer.
Yeah.
So far on that poll that I'm running, do you think overall at Speedway is still good value for money? It's running at 85% saying yes and a 15% saying no.
I'd be interested to see, which. I mean, obviously you're never going to be able to get this information, but which people from which clubs are voting this way, or clubs that they go to on a regular basis.
Oh, I'm sure. Webby, with his superior technical knowledge, won't be able to find that out at all.
No, I ain't got a clue.
Yeah, Chris Thorogood says that you're right, by the way. I think it's because Speedway is the best kept secret. They don't promote it to bikers. We often hear that, don't you? Speedway is the best kept secret in motorsports. Why is it secret?
My lads, when I first introduced them to Speedway and they started coming, and they used to tell their friends about it, and people would go, And when I speak about it to people at work or whatever, and they got no idea.
No.
As soon as I say motorbikes, they go, "Well, I'm not interested." So, that's a big problem.
Yeah,
big problem.
It's a regular occurrence with me when I'm speaking to the football fraternity. They all say like, "Is that still going?"
Yeah,
I
I
remember
get
that
that
in
a
the
lot.
70s.
Yeah, I used to go to that.
I don't know.
Even the couple of years after we first opened, and we was getting quite a good amount of publicity.
yeah. There's people in Manchester who don't think Bellevue runs anymore.
No.
Which is astonishing.
Yeah.
You think of a British Speedway club, that's the first one you think of, isn't it? Bellevue Oasis, iconic club, iconic name, huge history, and you've got people in one of the biggest cities. Well, Manchester is the biggest city now in the country that stages Speedway, isn't it now? So
It is.
and it's quite
Glasgow might have a
yeah.
may have an argument with me
Right,
just for
yeah.
the sake of it.
Yep.
But yeah. Chris Butler says they can't be used at Speedway due to possible battery exploding when crashed.
That's the electric bikes, obviously. So
Yeah, has one ever exploded? That's the question I have to ask. And why would it? I don't know. It's wrapping our kids
Surely
up
that
in.
that could be the same for anything.
I guess the only difference is that you got 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds riding them. I don't know. Dave Twine says there are 3 Brits in the Extra Liga, 3 Brits in Metalcus League. So that's 6 Brits in total. So
Yeah.
not many over there.
not huge amounts, no.
So I don't think they've got an opinion one way or the other on that. Okay, so how are we doing for time?
We've caught up.
Caught up, yep.
25 minutes left.
Okay, so I think it's probably now the time to talk about Prague.
Yes, of course, the second Grand Prix of the 2026 season. Prague's obviously always had a bit of a curious feat, isn't it? Is that there's a large number of riders who've won that Grand Prix have then gone on to be world champions. So it could potentially be a big meeting, and certainly Dan Bewley will be looking to try and bounce back, because he was the best rider on view in Lancia, but just didn't deliver in the final.
The only thing I would say about that stat is you could probably say the same stat about just about any Speedway stadium at some point or other.
Oh yeah, you could do, I suppose. Yeah, but as I say, ultimately, probably the longevity. I think '97 was the first one they had there, and they've had a Grand Prix there every single year since. I think it's staged more Grand Prix than any other track, I would have thought now. So yeah. So, obviously, it's not a track that I particularly enjoy watching the racing at, because I don't think it's necessarily a great race track. It's a very fast track. You need a lot of power in your bikes for it, but obviously it's going to be an interesting one, and it was be interesting to see. There's going to be a lot of attention, of course, going to be on Casper Verena as well. Obviously, having won the first Grand Prix,
first one.
Looked very, very impressive, I must say. But I was always impressed with him when he rode over in the UK. So I'd be interested. He'll have a lot of attention on him if he can deliver again. If he can deliver again,
That
then,
sort of came from nowhere a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah.
Nobody really sort of had him on their radar.
well, when you look at the Polish Extra League stats over the last few years, he has got a very, very good record against Bartosz Smarslik. And he's had a very good start to the season as well. I think he's second in the Polish averages at the moment. So he went into Landshut on form. So, you know, a lot. I mean, obviously he would have ridden against most of those riders anyway because they're racing in the Polish league. So, it'd be interesting to see what he does. Bart Smartsley, you know, was unspectacular, I thought, in the first one, but still
got to the final. Did what he always does.
Yeah, so you can never rule him out. Jason Doyle, I thought, rode quite well in the first one. Yeah, obviously he got to the. You know, a lot of people are saying, well, he shouldn't be in the Grand Prix anymore, but he's still finishing in top 6 in meetings. So age should be a number. I mean, you know, the obvious example is Greg Hancock, isn't it? Greg Hancock was still challenging for world championships when he was 47, 48. So
Nichols,
yeah,
nearly 50. I mean, that's some achievement. Yeah, Speedway's always been that sort of a sport where you can. You've got good longevity as long as you can keep
stay fit.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think the only thing that ended Greg Hancock that really was his personal situation.
Yeah,
he probably would have carried on a little bit longer.
I think there were signs, in fairness, with Hancock that he was maybe starting to lose his edge a little bit anyway. So, but
well, let's sort of have a look at the main runners and think about how well they've gone previously in Prague. Obviously, Bartek Smarslik, you've got to start there. He's run well at Prague previously. Mm-hmm. He's run well everywhere, though.
Yeah, he's run well most places, hasn't he? So,
you know, is this his comeback? You wouldn't write him out, would you?
I certainly wouldn't write him off now. Brady Kurt as well. He, you know, had a disappointing, disappointing start. Let it slip. You know, it was in a good place, I think, to have maybe got through into the into a top 2 place, and then let it slip in his final ride, and then didn't get through his last chance.
He was just not quite there, was he?
Yeah,
not the sort of Brady Kurtz of what we saw last year. But then again, he didn't start off that brilliant. Last year, did he really? He was
steady, but he sort of built up, and then obviously had that incredible winning 5 Grand Prix in a row, and still didn't win the championship, which is amazing. So
possibly a weakness. Has anybody actually looked at that and worked out whether he would have won it under the old rules? I'd be interested.
It would have been interesting, wouldn't it? I think that, I mean, he only got 7 points there last season. That was his worst Grand Prix of the season. I think he lost his chain.
7 points is nearly getting.
Yeah, and I think from memory serves me right, I think he was in the last chance qualifier, and I think his chain came off. If he'd got, and when he was in a qualifying place, so had that happened, he would have been world champion on that basis. So, but last season, Bartek Smarslik won the Czech Grand Prix, Freddie Lindgren second. And who was third? Leon Madsen, of course, was the wild card in that one. He finished third, and he'll be hoping for a recovery as well because he looked really disappointing in the opening Grand Prix. It's a shame really for him because a couple of years ago, you know, he looked like he was going to be the main threat to Smarslik's dominance, but it just hasn't really happened since then. So
let's have a look at Dan Bewley. I mean, what did he score last year?
In Prague, he scored 11 points.
He had a good meeting from what I remember, and it's a fast track, and I feel that's to his forte because he's quite low weight. It helps.
That's it. There, 5 points there the previous year, 2024, 2023. What did he score in 2023? He scored 12 points. So bit up and down, bit of an up and down record at Prague, but obviously, say after seemingly doing all the hard work and letting it slip at the end in Landshut, he'll want to bounce back from that, most definitely. So,
I mean, I think.
I mean, we haven't really mentioned Robert Lambert either, have we? Because obviously, poor season last year after finishing second in 24,
but not doing too bad in the Polish league.
Yep. Let's see who he decides to kick in the final this time. So I shouldn't say that, should I say?
No, but do you know what? So going back to the subject that we had not last week, the week before, which was about BSPL deciding to publish more about that fight in that match in their match report, and seeming to get the idea now that actually this is good publicity.
There was a couple of occasions on Saturday when I thought there was going to be a few words
Really,
spoken. So
it's great though, isn't it?
Ben Barker was one of them. You'll be amazed to know. So, Ben could start a fight in the empty room, couldn't he? So.
Yeah, he could. Yes, he yeah, bless him. But so it's that sort of thing is important, and they should be,
I do think the penny has dropped now for some of these promoters that, it's publicity and they want, surely Speedway needs publicity, needs all the publicity it can get. So there's no point just suppressing it and just saying, oh, we don't want that. We'll just fine the riders. I don't think either of those two riders have been fined for it. So.
They sorted it out,
Yeah.
and nothing. It was handbags.
End of the day, two competitors let off steam. Speedo got a nice bit of publicity. Nobody got hurt.
It happens in all.
If it gets to the stage where people are getting hurt, then throw the book at them. But
exactly, I mean, it happens in football. It happens in motorsport.
yeah,
And our sport is about. People think the sport's about the motorbikes. It's not. It's about the riders. And their individual personalities and how they interact with the crowd and all that. That's what it's really about.
Pete Clark just said Bartos has never been to Buxton.
Yeah.
You would pay to watch that, wouldn't you? So.
He has touched the fence at Buxton.
Mm-hmm.
It was at Birmingham at the time.
Yeah.
Anyway. Lee Stewart Richardson, 25th of April 1979 to the 13th of May 2012. That's gone.
15 years ago.
15
I was
years,
shocked when I saw that pop up the other day that it's that long. So that just feels like it happened yesterday, doesn't it? So I just still remember the shock that when that news came through on that Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
So
I have nothing to add to that. Well done, Dave.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The time is coming up to 1:45, so we
God.
ought to get on to our prediction league. So
I've no idea where, how, why, or what.
I think you've slipped down a bit.
I wouldn't
I've
surprise
slipped
me.
down a lot.
Yeah.
you've not exactly climbed up, to be fair, but that's
Never mind. Let's have a look.
we'll get the tables up shortly. So
Okay.
Okay, right. Let's see if I can go into studio
That
now.
time has gone so quick.
I don't know if you can see that. What's that one? What's that?
that's the score. That's the scores there. So you were the joint top scorer last week, Webby. So the recovery is underway.
How
So
the hell did that happen?
yeah.
How
So
the hell did that happen?
yeah, we had a few mates call off last week as well. So, but obviously one fixture. You obviously were one of the two that correctly predicted Glasgow to beat Workington by 6 points on Friday. So
How did you do that?
Don't know.
yeah.
You put the results in afterwards, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's what you,
GA got 5, and what did I get? I got 4.
Oh, okay.
So I was dunce of the week in the studio. So
Long may it continue.
okay, and we're looking at the table then. So it is Gordon Gambrel on 51 who leads at the moment. Phil Taylor 49, Rich Thomas 48.
Oh, you have slipped down
Chris
a little
Thorogood,
bit,
47.
Yourself 47, me 46, Andrew Garner 46.
It's all quite tight.
Yeah, Elliot's still there. Obviously, won the winner last year. He's on 45. Simon's on 42. And Webby's on 38, but slowly getting better. He's out of the bottom 3 now. So
Relegation zone.
Yep.
Excellent.
Right, shall we get started then? It's
well, we are
to go
going
first,
I am
Chris?
going to skip the first fixture because that meeting, as you know, being called off. That was the National League meeting between Kings Lynn and Leicester. So we will move on to Wednesday night even, and that is Poole against Oxford.
Mhm. We've not mentioned Paul's new signing, have we?
Yep.
Which
Yeah.
another
Should mention as well, of course, Oxford have had their future secure.
yes,
Which is great news.
absolutely brilliant news.
So who goes first?
You do.
Was it Oxford versus Poole?
Paul versus
Poole
Oxford.
versus Oxford.
No, it was Oxford versus Poole. No, it was Poole v Oxford, sorry.
Okay.
What's going on?
I'll go.
Sorry, they're both Wednesday tracks. It's easy mistake to
Have
make
I,
if
bet,
you're
have I already
a
done this?
pillock.
I haven't already done this one, have I?
I don't think you've put him on yet.
Oh, good. Okay. I'll go Poole by 6.
Okay.
Okay, I say pull by 12.
I'll go pull by 14 on that one.
Okay.
No, next up is Northampton against Leicester. So can Northampton get that elusive first win under their belt in what is a bit of a local derby, isn't it? You know,
It is.
the two closest, the side that's closest to Northampton, obviously geographically wide.
I would love nothing more than for Northampton to win this. I think anybody that's not a Leicester fan on that night would like to see Northampton get some points on the board. However, I'm going to say Leicester by 4.
Okay, I've said Leicester by 6 on that one.
I'll go Leicester by 12.
Okay.
Good God.
So moving
Are
on
you
to
okay?
moving on to Friday night, it's Scunthorpe against Glasgow.
And that's up to you. This is going to be tasty.
They haven't had a great start, Glasgow.
No, they have
I will
not.
say that. So Plymouth have run them close up there a couple of times as well. So I will go for Scunthorpe by 4 on that one.
I'll go Glasgow by 4.
Well, I've got to split the difference then.
Yep.
Draw.
Okay, I thought you'd get a draw in somewhere. So okay, so in the NDL we've got Edinburgh against Middlesbrough.
That's up to me, isn't it?
Yep.
Edinburgh by 6.
Edinburgh by 12.
Middlesbrough by 4. I'll go for on that one.
Okay, interesting.
And the two sides meet again the following night at Redcar. So Middlesbrough against Edinburgh.
That's up to me, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, I must say Middlesbrough by 10.
Wow.
Middlesbrough by 14. I'll go for.
Oh, I'll go Middlesbrough by 12.
Okay. Okay, so next up on Bank Holiday Monday, I shall be going to this one. It's Bellevue against Sheffield in the Premiership.
That's up to you, Matt. That's yeah.
Hard one to go for, that is. Bellevue by 4.
Sheffield by 6.
I'm actually going to go Sheffield by 2. I just, yeah.
Okay.
There's been some really interesting results this year.
There has been,
and,
yeah. So.
Well, there has, yeah, because I've got some.
Because
right.
you've got some right.
And the two sides meet in the evening at Allerton in the return fixture. So Sheffield against Bellevue. That's the final meeting of this week.
That's up to you, Chris.
Sheffield by 6.
That's not a bad shout, actually. I'm going to say the same, Sheffield by 6.
No one's ever agreed with me.
I'll say the same thing as well. Sheffield by 6. Yeah, Sheffield by 6.
See, I'll lead the way then.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
So,
So as I keep putting your prediction, about 18 people have done so far. Obviously, you'll be putting yours on shortly as well. So
yeah. So here's the thing. 7 matches. It's not a lot of matches, is it?
not really, no, not for a bank holiday weekend. As I said, 2 fixtures on bank holiday Monday. That's unknown. So.
And what is the reason?
There's not enough teams.
Not enough teams and rider availability. I think, so.
Oh, okay. Is it more of rider unavailability than teams?
I think the main thing is rider availability.
Yeah.
Teams don't want to race on mates when they're going to be under strength, don't they? So
No, which is,
especially if you're a home team. So
I guess, is fair enough, but it's a poor show.
yeah, I mean, obviously, so many great memories of bank holiday meetings. Obviously, the Dudley Walsh Trophy, of course, in the from my.
Why do we not have a new set of riders coming through, youngsters?
Well, we do have youngsters coming through, but they haven't got the places to go and ride. It's a ever decreasing circle, isn't it? They haven't got the places to go to ride. You don't get them up, and then you lose riders to the sport.
Yep.
Right, okay.
Interesting again, Jeff Daniels has just put on there. Bellevue will be weakened on Monday. Kilderman's injured, and Norwich Dawn's missing because he's riding in a GP qualifier in Germany at the same day. So
My 2-point win from Sheffield's looking a little bit not rosier now.
yeah. And Chris Thorogood says Speedway shooting itself in the foot again. Long periods without meetings, but Bellevue run a home and away double header on the same day.
But there used to be a lot of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going back in the sort of, even before you did, obviously, in the 70s and early 80s. You'd get Birmingham versus Cradley home and away on the same day.
Yeah, you got that with the Dudley Wolves Trophy with Wolves and Cradley.
Yeah.
Cradley in the morning, and then you'd get to Monmouth in the meeting, and half the riders in the league would be all waiting in the car park waiting to see who they were guesting for because there'd been an injury in the first meeting.
Yeah.
So.
And then you get Coventry and Wolverhampton.
Coventry and Leicester, they
Leicester, and all of these teams would do that in different bank holidays. It used to be great fun.
There was a lot of people said that they overdid the Wolves Friday meetings with having the huge numbers, but the reason they had so many of them was because you knew full well you were going to get a big crowd. So you can understand that.
Yeah, absolutely. Pete Clark says it's Buxton versus Stoke, just to bring us back down to earth. On Sunday, 2 teams of younger riders.
Yep. Obviously, that was a challenge meeting, so obviously we're not going to be putting that on the prediction league. But it'd be interesting to see. Was that last week or was that this week? I think that's this week, isn't it? So
yeah, that's
this week. Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see how many Stoke fans, because Stoke, when they were running, they used to take a lot of fans up to Buxton on a Sunday afternoon. So that'd be interesting.
I remember Stoke as being not well supported, but then obviously I saw them
in the latter years.
But
do they still do these like riding schools and things where people can go and have a go?
Yeah,
they do. Not so many. Not so many.
Scunthorpe who did that sort of
I think
thing.
Scunthorpe used to.
Ivan Mage used to do a few of them, didn't he, when he came back over here? So
there's a few about. There's Isle of Wight are still doing it, I think, as well.
Yeah.
So there are a few about. What are you thinking of having a go?
No, I think it's a great idea.
I would pay money to see that.
When people
I'll be turning up at Plymouth next year, and he'll be on the parade, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'd be great. Yeah, people can go along and have a day, like open days and things like that. I think brilliant.
Yeah, I would love to have a go, but my wife doesn't think it's a good idea.
You've never been on a speedway bike?
Not while it's running, no.
Really? That surprised me. I thought you might have had a go.
Yeah, I haven't got one. And no rider's just going to say, "Oh yeah, go on, get up on my bike." I would love to have a go. I would obviously make a right fool of myself. But,
yeah. Nothing to do there.
Yeah. Hey ho. Dave Tyne says Buxton, you can hire a few laps. I think that's sort of. Yeah, I would kill myself if there's nobody there to tell me what to do.
Yeah.
There's no brake.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that.
That would be because obviously having ridden a bike, not having that brake there would be a. I'd go, what the?
Yeah.
Be like me trying to drive an automatic.
Yeah. Phil Tyler says Barry Bishop at Plymouth does my first skid school for the youngsters.
Of course he does. Yeah.
See.
That's still going, is it?
Presumably.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Well, there we go.
And is the Isle of Wight thing still going as well? That's.
I think so.
It is still going. Obviously, they're not part of the BSBL now with all the disputes, but I don't think it's got quite the successful thing that it had. It seems to have gone very, very quiet. We haven't really heard much of Barry, have we? Barry's obviously been on the show a couple of times and always been great value and really passionate about the sport. And I think in the end he got, well, the reason why they walked away from British Speedway was because he got frustrated, didn't he? So
Yeah.
Same as we all did.
Yep.
Same as we all did.
I'll just have another quick look at the poll, just see how it's running.
Which pole is that, Bartok?
Warina.
So it's still at 85% say yes and 15% say no.
Yeah, of course.
Wonder how many of them are promoters that have voted yes.
What we should, I mean, too late to say it now, but what we should have done as a poll is who do you think is going to win the Prague GP, which we will have running as a poll.
And
Yep.
For
The next Grand Prix is going to be on the 23rd of May, which is the 2 Grand Prix at Bellevue. So
okay. And how many riders are in the Grand Prix?
16.
16.
16.
18 if you're going to be. Well, if you include the 2 reserves, it's 18. But obviously, it's.
Who's the reserve? Who's taking over from Freddie Lindgren? By the way, I meant to ask that earlier.
Not sure who the first reserve is actually.
I'll do that then. Because you can have as many options as you like. So I'll do that for the next one then. Yeah. Okay.
You don't have to name all 16 riders. You can do
But the obvious ones.
Of the obvious
so-
ones,
Yeah.
and then another.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it'll be.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do that for the prediction league, to be honest. With the, I'm going to have to plan that over myself because we usually do 1, 2, 3 for the Grand Prix, don't we? So,
We do.
yep,
That's as a sort of tie break.
yes,
Okay, well, it's come to that time of the evening when we say bye bye.
Okay.
We will be here next week. Family behaving. You wouldn't write about it. You take care, everybody. See you soon. Have a great Speedway week. Bye bye.
good night.
Ta-da, a bit.
Speedway Tavern.